Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Probation Officer's Perspective. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that notification bell to all so you'll be notified of all the new content. And with that, I want to thank everybody for their support. These are, again, I just got into this. I just did this big old thing about people, especially these big platforms, going in on other people, making videos about them, dogging them out, trying to discredit them. And if you ask questions or you make a comment, if they don't like it, they're going to block you. We already went over all that stuff. This is my own personal, and I don't like to do these reaction videos or whatever you want to call them, but I feel it's warranted in this case because Dubs likes, so we're talking about Dubs' channel. And everybody knows who Dubs is. Dubs, Dub-S, whatever. So everybody knows who Dubs is, Dubs and Gunner, but this is particularly my reaction to Dubs. So he did a video on snitching. First of all, Dubs, you don't know my background. You don't know nothing about me. So before you go speaking any kind of way on me, you might want to check my background. Because, talking shit about, because I made a comment and talking shit about my comment, like I'm stupid and discredit me, my credibility. Just because I made a comment, and it wasn't on his channel. That's the thing. It had nothing to do with Dubs. It was not on his channel. I mean, it kind of did, but I didn't mention his name or any of that stuff. So this is the reaction. So he does a video about snitching in prison. And he goes on about the snitching, and then he goes on to cell phones in prison, contraband cell phones. And what they're, people snitching on you for having cell phones or using your cell phone so they can snitch on you and give the information to the cops. You know what I mean? And what he said was that they can clone your phone and get all your information. And when your cell phone rings, your contraband cell phone you have in prison rings, that the cops, the COs, or the administration or whoever is able to listen in on your phone conversations or get your information, all your information off your phone by cloning it. I don't think he knows exactly what cloning is, because cloning a phone is a very difficult thing to do, especially to have it where it's ringing. And so his comment about my comment was, but anyways, let's get back on track here. So this is what his video was about. And that anybody who tells you that, or has a cell phone, and is letting other people use it or whatever, is stupid. Yeah, I agree. Man, if I had a cell phone, I wouldn't be letting somebody else use it and getting myself into trouble. That's 100% true. Wouldn't be doing that. Because obviously I don't trust nobody, especially in prison. But let me tell you, Dubs, a little bit. I'm not even going to my background. You want to know anything about me? Go to my channel description on my page, and you can read my background. And you might know a little bit about me that way. You get to know me a little bit that way. Because, I know you're a big channel, and you don't like messing with these people unless they're sending you money, whatever. That's your get down. I don't give a shit. But coming at me like I'm some stupid ass because I made a comment. Okay, so Central Cali Certified did a reaction to his video about the snitching or the cell phones and tablets. All I said was 100% They can't clone they're not going to clone everybody's cell phones. They can't clone them like that. They're not going to send them out for forensics. They're not going to do, basically, you know what I mean? You have to have a warrant, number one, to do any of that stuff. So I want to break it down for Dubs and anyone watching that's for, curious about the cell phones. And number one is right here. So let's talk about how many. Okay, so there's approximately 32 or 34 prisons in California, the state of California. Okay, as of January of last year, there was 93,900 people in the prisons. Okay, over capacity as usual. Although they say it's coming down, but whatever. So 93,900 people in prison. And let's just say a quarter of those people have cell phones. Or let's just say, we'll just put a rough estimate out there, 15,000 people have cell phones, contraband cell phones in prison. You think that, a judge is going to give a warrant for 15,000 cell phones? No, he's not. He's going to be pissed if you keep coming to him. They're not going to do that anyways. That's a lot of work. And trust me, in the field of work that I was in, I know what it takes, and it's a lot of work, and judges don't like to do it. So getting a warrant to tap someone's phone is a lot of stuff to it. There's a lot of red tape, and a lot of judges don't like to do it because it is violating your rights. And so you better have a really good reason. Now, with that being said, would they do that for maybe some of the heavy hitters or the legends if they found a cell phone that they had used or had in their possession? They might do that. Yeah, I agree with that part of it because they're trying to get information. But there's too many people, 93,900. That's, and that's just a rough estimate, I'm sure, of how many people's in there. So that's number one. Number two, let's go here. Number two, no, the California Department of Corrections, the CDCR, cannot directly clone an inmate's cell phone. There you go. There's your answer. So you talked about you can clone phones, that the CDCR clones phones. Well, they can't directly clone your phone. Again, we're going to get into more of that too. An inmate's cell phone, meaning they cannot create an exact duplicate of the phone to access its data. However, they can monitor and track cell phone usage within their facilities using cell phone blockers and signal detection systems, which can identify the presence of a contraband phone and potentially gather limited information about its usage, including phone numbers called, if an inmate attempts to make a call, which of course everybody does. But again, you're talking, that's just rough estimate. 15,000 cell phones within the 32 to 34 facilities in the CDCR. They're not going to do it. And they don't have the technology to do it. They do have the jammers and the signal detection systems. Probably not all the prisons do. Maybe all of them do. Some of them might not have that. So you got to remember that. And you have to keep that in mind also. So let's go on to 3. Okay, so I'm just going to see if I can make this a little smaller so it's not in front of my face, but I doubt it. You'll be able to read it then, maybe. Okay, so in 2019, the California Department of Corrections, the CDCR, seized 10,494 illegal cell phones in 2019. And in 2021, they seized 8,452 cell phones. And in 2011, they confiscated more than 15,000 illegal cell phones. And then that just goes on. It just goes on to explain contraband cell phones are smuggled into prisons by guards or dropped into prison yards by drones. Inmates pay for these phones, which can cost anywhere from a few $100s to $3,000. Whatever. So these are the ones that they've seized and they've found and seized. Now, I know that a lot of these phones get passed around or they get burnt. They're burner phones. So after they use them, they get rid of them, and then they get another cell phone. So these are only the numbers that shows the cell phones that actually were seized. Now, do you think that's a legitimate number there of all the cell phones in the CDCR? No. That's just the ones they found. Or, again, maybe somebody snitched. That's how they found them, whatever. I agree with you on the snitching part on the cell phones and how they found them. Who knows? Like I said, snitches. But that's just the ones they found. Imagine the ones they didn't find. So you can probably double that number right there or triple that number. Who knows? I'm just trying to get to the point here. And then last but not least, this just goes to show you, as explain this to you, the cost to have for forensics on a contraband cell phone typically ranges between $875 and $1,875 per device, depending on the complexity of the analysis and the provider, with most starting around $875 mark for basic extraction of data from a phone. Key points about cell phone forensic costs. They're flat fee. That the costs don't mean shit to us. The complexity of the investigation, the amount of data on the phone, and the need for specialized analysis can influence the price. In cases involving contraband phones, legal fees may need to be factored in alongside with the costs for the forensics. Okay. I'm getting it here. All right. So this one here. There we go. I hate doing it this way, but I was going to make it like some of them won't go full screen. And I was going to make myself smaller. But I can probably do that. Make myself smaller and then make this bigger just on this one anyways. So you can understand. Okay. So when I used to confiscate any type of electronics, when I was a PO, when I was an investigator, we used to send it to BCI, was the Bureau of Criminal Investigation. And that's the only place we could send it for forensic analysis. And they were certified. You have to be certified within the state. And I mean, like attorneys use certain ones, but on the law enforcement side, you have to use, the state. They have their own, and that's what you use. So this just breaks down what the qualifications are for somebody to do that. It talks about their certifications, the legal issues surrounding the device, and then this is very important: the proper chain of command and custody procedures. People don't do that chain of custody. Sometimes they screw that up, and then it's done and over with. Then at that point, case is going to get thrown out because of chain of custody. That's happened several times. What can a cell phone forensics expert analyze? I'm getting my words all twisted up here. Call logs. Text messages, GPS location data. That doesn't mean shit because your GPS location is going to be in the prison. I mean, it could be in that, say, C yard, B yard, whatever. That doesn't point it down. And at that point, if they've already got the phone, GPS location doesn't matter. Photos and videos, that matters. Browser history, app data, and social media activity. Call logs and text messages. So like I said, and I already know, when people they have cell phones, they don't keep their phones long. You know what I mean? And then they get other phones, if they're smart. And again, the heavy hitters, the legends, the big guys, of course, they're not going to have the same phone for very long. They're going to get rid of that phone, and you would know this. So that's my little breakdown of this whole thing, because I made a comment about having a warrant. Let's make myself bigger here. So you had to go out of your way and laugh about my comment on this person's channel, because I made a comment and my comment was legit, as I just showed you. I've worked in this field. I worked in several fields in law enforcement. So for you to sit there and try to disrespect me, this probation or parole guy, he thinks he knows whatever, and you laughed about it, you think it's funny. But at that point, like I said, you know what I mean? I'm just giving my input. Everyone has the right to their own opinion and the right to speak however they want to speak. I mean, that's just your right. And, if you don't like it, because I wasn't on your channel commenting on it, I was on that channel commenting on it. But you had to make it a point to go to, and I don't, whatever you do on other people's channels and you talk about them like you do, that's your business. But when somebody comes at you, you always have to make it, either you talk about how it's fake, you delete it. If anybody wants to comment on your stuff or ask you a question that you don't like, you're very quick to do that. I've been told by several people. But anyways, this was not your channel. It was someone else's channel that I commented on. I don't appreciate the disrespect, because I didn't go on your channel. I didn't disrespect you. I didn't show you any disrespect. And it's just like I tell everybody when it comes to my background, some of the jobs that I've held, the first thing is respect. It goes both ways. If somebody comes in with an attitude, the very first time I meet them, the first time I see them, then we're probably going to have a problem. But if they show me respect, I'm going to show them respect, and everything's going to be good, no matter which job it is. If I'm investigating, I investigate homicide cases. I've investigated lots of different cases. And even with that, it's always, you've got to build a rapport, and you also show respect, and then you'll get respect back. With you want respect, but you don't want to give respect. And I understand a lot of people go in on you, whatever. That's not my business. That's your problem. That's your channel. That's your deal. But you don't see me on there commenting on your channel or doing any of that stuff, because it's really none of my business. You do whatever you do. People make videos about it. I see them. It is what it is. But with that, I'll shut this video down. I just wanted to react. I don't like to do these reaction videos, to be honest with you. But I felt this was warranted, because you're coming at me thinking it's funny that I commented on somebody's channel that apparently you don't like. But I felt it was necessary, or, I wanted to comment on it. And that's my right to comment on it. So if you want to go in there on someone else's channel and read the comments and you don't like it, then don't go to their channel. You know what I mean? Because I did not go to your channel and leave that comment. I left it on someone else's channel. So you get upset when people get on your channel and leave you comments, or you just delete them. That's what I know you've been known to do. I've been told by several people that that's the way you do business. If anyone asks you a question about your background, your history, that you haven't already told, whether it's true or not, you don't like it, you're going to just block them and delete them right away. You get upset, pissed. You know what I mean? Which, grow up, dude. Again, you know what? You're not sitting in prison. You're not, you know what I mean? You think you're like, I don't know what it is. You're an adult, dude. I'm older than you. I'm like 5 years older than you. And I conduct myself in an adult manner. And if I don't like what somebody has to say, I might argue the fact with them, but I'm not just going to not let them speak and just delete them because I don't like what they said. Unless it's some of them trolls with some weirdo bullshit. That's understandable because I do that. That are just talking off the wall shit that has nothing to do with commenting on or talking about me or the content that I'm putting out or the video I'm putting out. You know what I mean? So just stay in your lane, Dubs. You know what I mean? You shouldn't go in on people when, or talk about them, or just, to me, I felt disrespected. Because you read my comments, so you know who it was. Because you mentioned probation or parole or whatever it is. You know what I mean? What, you can't read? You read the whole comment, but you couldn't read what my name said? Probation officer's perspective. So, you know what I mean? It was disrespectful. You didn't have to come at me that way. All my information is on my channel, my description, channel description, my email, my phone number. I don't hold back on any of that stuff. So it's all there. So anyone can contact me at any point in time if you have an issue. And with that, that's the end of this video. See you on the next one. Peace out.